Hey Paul, it's Red here and welcome back to Propagandist. We're doing some more RWBY Volume 6 reactions. Namely, we're going to be looking at episode 4 in this particular video. So, last episode we had a lot of backstory. We got a lot on Salem and Ozpin, basically telling us what the deal is with those two characters, because we've known for some time that these two characters are actually in contact with one another. They have some history. You know, for example, if you wanted evidence of that, you just have to look back at the start of Volume 1, for instance, where you had Salem kind of narrating a bit about the history of Remnant, and you then had Ozpin sort of responding to it just very briefly with one line. But it's good to actually clarify that and get information. It's quite a tragic backstory as well, as we saw. Love lost, the destruction of humanity, all kinds of stuff. Basically, they have divergent goals. That's what seems to be the case here. So Ozpin has been given a task by the gods to basically, well, try and redeem humanity before the gods return to Remnant. And Salem, however, has her own goal in terms of remaking humanity. Exactly what she aims to remake them into, that is perhaps the killer question. It's probably not going to be something good, hence why there is a divergence between them, because obviously that goal is probably going to conflict with Ozpin's goal. So it's really good, like I say, just to get that backstory and find out what it is that Ozpin hasn't been telling us over the course of the series, because I said this in the last episode, but you know, the franchise has been very much heavily hinting up to this point that Ozpin knows more than he's actually letting on, and there's things that he's not telling the main characters. So I suppose the question really is, how are the main cast of characters going to react to this now that they've seen that? Will it be a sympathetic reaction? Will it be something else? Will they be unsure of what they've seen? Guess we'll find out in due course. So without further ado, let's get into episode 4, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we are starting the episode in 3, 2, 1, go. Right.
Salem can't be killed. You all heard her too, right?
Yeah, that detail.
There was so much you hadn't told us. How could you think that was okay?
Professor? What is your plan to defeat Salem?
Does he even have one?
Don't have one.
I thought so. Jesus Christ. Wow, people are reacting quite strongly to this.
No one wanted me. I was cursed. I gave my life to you because you gave me a place in this world. I thought I was finally doing some good.
But you are.
Meeting you was the worst luck of my life.
I mean, bear in mind, this guy himself has been through some pretty traumatic stuff here. Let's not... Okay, everybody needs to stay together. And remember that Oscar himself is kind of an innocent in this.
He's gone.
That bastard! Tell him we're not done yet!
No, this is different. He's gone. It's like he's locked himself deep inside my head. Our head. I hate this. I want it to stop.
He just left us?
What are we gonna do now?
Enough!
Yes, all
We
woman.
need to get a move on. It'll be dark before we know it, and every one of you is spewing negativity. There's a trail over there. Trails usually lead somewhere.
Lady, I don't know who you think you are, but...
No buts!
Yes.
I understand that you're upset. Honestly, I'm still
Come on, give
coming
us
to
the-
terms with the fact that this is humanity's second time around.
Give us the neutral outsider's
We
view.
don't move, we die. And I'll be damned if I've lived this long just to die out here in the cold.
No, she's right. Come on.
So this is where the old woman comes into it, where she's going to show that she's actually of benefit to the group. Look at her just perched on the bumblebee. Yeah, you might want to say sorry to Oscar for the fact you Crow punched him.
I'm just going to be another one of his lives, aren't I?
Of course not. You're your own person.
Don't lie to him, Ruby.
Okay.
We're better than that.
Ooh, okay, so we've got dissent within the group here. Ooh, assume between those who like Oscar and just want him to succeed. Those who are now a bit worried about. I think probably people need to take a step back there. At the end of the day, Ozpin has a lot of trauma in his life. I think maybe we need to remember that here. Ooh. Oh, look who it is. It's bloody Emerald and Mercury. I'd forgotten about you two, actually. And, what's his face? Big dude. Hazel, is he called? Was that his name? God, it's been a while. Ah, new.
Welcome back, welcome back. I do hope you missed us as much as we missed you.
Let's go.
Speaking of which, where is our fall maiden?
Emerald, come on.
Don't tell me something happened to her.
I will cut off more than just your tail.
Careful, little girl.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Cinder isn't here to protect you anymore.
He's a bit of a
Back off.
creepo.
Oh, don't misunderstand. I am in mourning just as you. Because it appears you failed our queen. And that is a tragedy.
But not for him. It's not. It's kind of curious with those two, Emerald and Mercury. Are they going to be sticking with the bad guys forever? I know people want to see them redeemed, but I'm not sure. I mean, we'll see how things go along.
I would like you to explain to me how it is you failed so spectacularly.
The Fauna's militia split our forces.
Stop. Let me rephrase the question. Who is responsible for your defeat?
I take full responsibility.
But that wouldn't be fair now, would it? We all know
She's pissed.
truly to blame.
I don't...
Oh god, okay. Yeah, don't piss off the Queen.
Emerald. I want you to tell me whose fault this was.
She's scary.
Now.
Cinder!
Oh.
I failed because of Cinder.
That's right.
This is interesting.
I want you to understand that failure. I want you to understand why Cinder must be left to toil in her isolation until she redeems herself.
He's sending a wedge between...
She's alive.
You're joking. How could you know that?
Are you questioning our divine savior?
Of course not. Forgive me.
It's important not to lose sight of what drives us. Love, justice, reverence. But the moment you put your desires before my own, they will be lost to you. This isn't a threat. This is simply the truth. The path to your desires is only found through me. And so we must press on. The sword under Vacuo's academy, Shade.
Ma'am. I have more to report. Crow and the children are taking the lamp to Atlas.
Not if I can help it.
And they're being led by Ozpin.
So soon?
He's the only man with a chance of getting through to Ironwood. If that happens,
Salem's pissed. She's real pissed.
Leave. Your Grace, I can...
Don't question it, just go. Get out.
Come on.
Do you think that Emerald is going to switch sides potentially? Yeah, she mad. She mad indeed. Back to our heroes though. Kind of curious what's going on with Jean, Nora and Ren though.
It doesn't look like this is gonna let up.
I just want to get this stupid relic to Atlas.
Let's hope we don't have to walk all the way there.
I thought trails led somewhere.
Do you have nothing better to do than to harass a defenseless old lady?
Everyone quiet. Do you hear that?
Yeah. Sounds like something metal swinging in the wind. A sign? A gate, okay. That's a bit too quiet.
Well,
Brunswick
at least one good
Farms.
thing happened today. It looks abandoned.
It's still better than this.
Come on, I think we could all use some rest.
You gonna apologise to Oscar for punching him? Bear in mind it's two minds in one body here, and one of them hasn't done anything wrong. Oh, okay, there we go, that was it. Feels like that was a bit of a shorter one, that was. Okay, interesting. So, yeah, some interesting stuff went down there. Yeah, there's definitely a split, it feels, in the group now over how we approach Ozpin in light of all this revelation. I must say, at the moment, I do feel like my sympathy's more with Ozpin, though. Just because, kind of, well, I mean, he hasn't, as far as I can tell, at least from what I've watched there, been withholding information for a nefarious purpose. He's probably been withholding it because it's bloody traumatic and horrible. I think maybe the characters perhaps just need a moment to calm down and perhaps realise that. Maybe. Okay, I need to actually pause this and jump cut here before it auto-plays the next one. 1 second, everybody. Alright, so there was a ton of stuff in there. Another very interesting episode. Like I said, I do think, well, I can sort of understand why some of the Team RWBY characters kind of reacted to Ozpin's past in the way that they did, particularly Yang. I felt like Yang was quite sort of angry about the fact that that had been withheld. So I'm sort of caught in the middle on that in terms of how I feel about it, because on the one hand, I feel like, yes, we need to be sort of sympathetic a bit to Ozpin maybe, because he has, like I said, been through clearly something very traumatic, something really, he's had a pretty shit life, basically, is what I'm saying. But at the same time, and whilst I think it's perhaps maybe a bit unreasonable of Yang, and perhaps some of the other Team RWBY characters, and perhaps Crow as well, maybe to react in the way that they did, at the same time, I do kind of understand that, you know, over the past few volumes, they themselves have been through some pretty horrendous shit, so, you know, they're maybe not going to be in the best emotional place. I mean, you take Yang as an example, like, count everything that that character has actually had to go through, from what we know. So, you know, she's basically in Volume 3, you know, she got pretty much messed over in the whole Vital tournament. She then lost her arm to Adam and went through a massive period of was basically PTSD. She also, you know, in Volumes 4 and 5 had the whole shebang with trying to find Raven and pretty much figured out that, you know, Raven is not a caring mother really at all. Raven couldn't really give a shit about her, it seems. So there was all that. So yeah, I understand, you know, Yang as a character is going through a lot as well. And so, you know, she's not going to be in the best sort of place emotionally right now, hence probably that quite out there reaction. So yeah, I'm kind of in the middle, like, I'm sort of torn there, you know, in terms of how I react to some of the stuff that went down, some of the ways in which those characters interacted with one another. But yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe later in the volume they'll sort of perhaps have a moment just to kind of sit down, kind of reflect, recollect, and think, okay, you know what, some words were spoken, things got a bit heated, and maybe we just need to kind of take a moment to talk it through, calm down. Otherwise, you know, there's the risk of the cohesion of the team taking a bit of a hit here. It certainly feels like RWBY, though, was perhaps more sympathetic, even though she initially was a bit sort of like, you know, what's your plan here to deal with Salem and all that. But it feels like, I think RWBY has remembered that, you know, it's not just Ozpin here, it's Oscar as well, and he's not done anything wrong. He's not the person they're, you know, they're angry at. So RWBY, it was good to see kind of realise that and maybe step forward and try to be sympathetic. Crow is the interesting one though, because he was quite sort of, how should I say, well obviously apart from the fact that he punched Oscar, he overheard RWBY attempting to be sort of sympathetic and kind of cut her off a bit on that, and was sort of saying, you know, oh, don't let him fool you, which it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. How will people sort of, I don't know, maintain cohesion from this point onward? And on top of that, it seems though that I was kind of glad though that old Maria sort of stepped in a bit there. I really want to see more of her, and she started to step up a bit. So she was very much the one who was kind of the neutral outsider, the one who maybe doesn't know as much, and whose perspective therefore is the most sort of unbiased, perhaps, untainted by past experiences or past questions, things like that. She sort of stepped in, and I think it was good that she did, to kind of come in there and sort of say, all right, this is all well and good, but this is not the priority right now. We need to perhaps focus on sorting ourselves out. I'm still sort of interested to see, though, if they get into a combat situation, will she turn out to be a bit of a badass? Who knows? We'll see. So, yeah, really interested to see where things go from here in episode 5. So they've found their way to this, what appears to be an abandoned farm of some kind. I'll wager there's going to be trouble waiting for them there. So we'll see. In that case, we'll wrap up here and hope you'll join me for my reaction to episode 5, which I'll get recording very, very soon. Other than that, just the usual things that I always say at the end of these videos. If you're interested, my main channel is General Red Strategist, where I do a lot of eclectic gaming content. So if you're into that kind of thing, feel free to go and check it out. You never know, there might be something there that you enjoy. But other than that, I'll sign off now. Goodbye, everybody.